Throughout my life, I've been fundamentally aware that there was a divine presence at work with me. I'd seen it in the lives of others. I grew up in a family that honored a spiritual tradition. I, on the other hand, as a young man, was recalcitrant, rebellious. I sampled a lot of life for just a short period of time, 3 or 4 years. But in that period of time, I lived in a very reckless way that I wish I had not. But from those experiences, I've learned to value the principles and precepts and values and virtues that are enduring. In no uncertain terms, while in Vietnam, I had the strangest encounter with my inner man, and I just felt the sense of the divine. It was somewhat familiar, but certainly never felt anything like this in my life. So I flirted with responding. I developed a rapport with what is holy and began to meander through reconstructing who I am in light of what that is. I was very much alone, spent 20 months in a war zone, and was blessed to have some time to do a great deal of reflecting and reading. And in those days, I didn't know what it was, but I was journaling. So, anyway, I have this appreciation for how the divine interacts with us humans. Over the course of about 50 years, I've had deep and profound positive experience with an interfaith group, with Christians, with Jews, with Muslims, Sikhs, and part of the exploration of why we should pay attention to one another who represent various faith traditions. I've decided that at this point in my life that I have an invitation. Sometimes I think it's an obligation, but certainly an opportunity that I don't want to pass up to remind us that spirituality is a community asset. That's different than trying to get someone to join your church or to become as Islamist or to become Jewish or a Kabbalist or any number of religious orders, all of which are a reflection of God. But most of those pedigrees live within some limitations, and I think we kind of get where we are today. So spirituality, I think, is an asset that I will be promoting throughout the Kansas City area and other places wherever I'm invited to go, to remind all the community stakeholders that precept, value, virtues, principles are all ways that we can drop a dualistic conversation about who's right and who's wrong, but ask the question, what is a healthy community built upon? What can we rely on? The spirit of community is an ethos. It's an ethos that maintains that everyone is important, everyone has a place, everyone has a responsibility, everyone is of worth, and that no one should attempt to dominate another. I think we should be concerned about media and how media attempts to shape our sense of reality. I'll confess to you that when I'm watching various cable networks, and I do flip from the obvious ones, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. When I'm flipping through that, I find that if you're a listener, you're probably going to feel somewhat obligated, if not persuaded, to be either left or right. And pretty soon we become filled with anxiety about the others not being that way, and animosity and disdain, and worse, lies and deception begins to emerge as combatants vie for power. Those of us who have decided that living from the inside out, living from a very peaceful center, one that is designed to be at one with what is holy, we find it to be distressful to understand that most of us in our nation are invited to take a side and to be right or to be correct or to be vitriolic, nasty, vindictive, cunning is acceptable. From the inside out, like you, when I'm my best person, I really don't want to live like that. And I think most people don't either. I've been interacting with stakeholders in our community, with school administrators, school teachers, been talking with business people, bankers, and law firms, talking with healthcare professionals and civic organizational leaders, churches, of course, and interfaith groups. Been talking with them, and we've all agreed that spirit of community is best understood as an asset, and that a separation of church and state is really not the question here. We can't separate ourselves from ourselves. We're spiritual beings. How we interact is going to make a difference. I've been married for 50 years. I have 2 adult children, and they have their families, and I have grandchildren. And I'm fundamentally aware that chaos, disagreement, disappointment can come. But if we continue to do the right thing, if we continue to take into consideration love and respect and commitment and bonding as primary principles that build strong communities, I think we can endure just about anything.